I'm going to show you how to make fire glow beats for Ian that sound like his hits Magic Johnson and Grand Slam. Make sure to watch the whole way through, because I'm going to drop some crazy secret sauce on you. To start off making this beat, I opened up Xenology and got this preset called AX String Staccato, and I laid down this really bouncy melody. The notes that you want to use in these type of melodies, they shouldn't differ too much. It should just be within about one semitone of the root note, and all I did to create this one was just find the root note and then just shift that note up one semitone or down one semitone when it fit the rhythm. And here's what that sounds like. And it's just that looped 4 times over. The next preset that I used for this beat was just another one from Xenology. It's called Grand XV. And all I did was just lay down a little piano run in the second bar, and all I did to find the notes of this melodic pattern was just turn on scale highlighting for the Phrygian scale that I was using and just follow the scale. Phrygian scales are often used in Ian beats because they give a very dark, bouncy sound. So when you're cooking up this Ian beat, try and use a Phrygian scale. Here's what that piano run sounds like with the rest of the strings. Next, all I did was add an organ from Xenology. It's called Old Fashioned. And I just placed some notes on the offbeat of every bar, but in this bar I used a technique that's common in Ian beats. It's just a run like I did in the piano, but it's a lot smaller and faster. It just leads into the offbeat of the bar that I have the organ stab on. Here's what the organ sounds like with the rest of the melody. Next, I just used another preset from Xenology called Edge Boost. It's a sweeping lead, and I just placed it on the second bar. It adds some nice variance to the beat. Here's what it sounds like with the rest of the beat. The last bit of melody that I added to this beat was just a synth from my Glow multi-kit. Link in the description, by the way. Make sure to go check it out. All I did was just find the root note and then make some slide notes on the offbeat to just change up the pitch. Here I just went up 1 semitone and then up 7 and up 8. Here's what that sounds like with the rest of the melody. And that was all I added for the melody of this beat. Now onto the drums. The hi-hat pattern I used for this beat is pretty simple, although it may look a little bit daunting. All it is just a 2-step hi-hat pattern, and I added in some triplet rolls. I just added the roll here, and I changed up the pitch to add in some more variance, and then I just added in some more rolls, and I changed the pitch going back down, coming into the 4th bar. And then at the end of the 4th bar, I added the roll to transition back into the beginning of the loop. Next, I just added in a clap. This is what the clap sounds like. I just put it on the 3rd beat of every bar, as well as adding it in here on every 2nd bar, just to add in some more variance and bounce. Another bit of secret sauce that I like to use in Ian beats is adding in some toms. If you don't know what a tom is, it's just the other drum on a drum kit that isn't a snare. This is what it sounds like. And I just added it in right here on the 2nd bar to transition back into the 3rd bar. Now it's time for the 808s. All I did to create this 808 pattern was just try not to go too crazy and just put it where I felt that it fit the bounce. I mainly just used the root note of the scale to transition back into the beginning of the 4-bar loop. I just changed up the pitch 1 semitone here, and then to transition back into the beginning of the 8-bar loop, I just changed up the pitch 1 octave and put a slide note down here. The final part of drums that I added was just an open hat. I just layered it with some of the 808s, and then at the end of the 8-bar loop, I used a technique where I put the open hat up 1 octave and then put a slide note back down 2 octaves. It creates a really cool slide effect that transitions back into the beginning of the 8-bar loop. This is what it sounds like just by itself. It might sound a little bit right now, but when it's in the full beat, it sounds crazy. And that was everything that I used to create this beat. To make the intro, I just put a metronome on every 2nd beat in the 1st bar, and then on every beat. And then I put a little scratch right here just to build tension as we come into the main beat right here. This is what that intro sounds like. No full beat yet. And then I just brought in all the melody and the drums, and I just duplicated that over 4 times to create the hook right here, and then the verse sections right here. And I just make sure to take out some of the melody and drums where I feel that they fit. I like to do it just before I transition back to the beginning of a 4 or 8 bar loop. It builds some tension and makes that drop hit way harder. And then I just added the bridge by just putting the strings by themselves for 8 bars, and I just duplicated that all over again. I appreciate y'all for watching. Make sure to leave me some feedback in the comments, and this is what the full beat sounds like.